Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Steve.
And I'm Scott.
And together we're Backyard Musings, broadcasting live Apple Valley, California.
Science and Technology Channel.
Right. We've had a bunch of segments on volcano and earthquakes and stuff, Mars and here. So I guess we're continuing it. Oxford researchers found that changes in shear wave splitting can predict volcanic eruptions and their severity. The signal shifted noticeably before a major eruption at the Ontake Volcano, which is in Japan, offering a promising early warning tool. A new study led by Professor Mike Kendall from the Department of Earth Sciences has explored a novel monitoring method for providing early warnings of volcanic eruptions. This research was published in the journal Seismica on April 28th, 2025. Would you like to know more? And that's our code for it. If the answer is yes, click the subscribe button.
Yeah, that would be great if you could do that. The research team analyzed earthquake signals from two eruptions on Ontake Volcano in Japan, one small and one explosive. They found that the characteristics of shear wave splitting varied depending on the eruption size. The study suggests that tracking these signals could serve as an effective early warning system for potentially hazardous volcanic activity.
So you're going to have to put monitors up there, like seismic whatevers.
So, yeah, what do you draw straws?
Who's going
up there? No. And when was the last time?
It's your time.
When was the last time this had a little bit of?
Let's put the new guy up there.
Yeah.
The FNG.
When the ground starts to rumble, don't worry about it. It happens all the time.
For communities living near volcanoes, early warning systems are essential for survival. That's true. But mistrust in these alerts can lead to tragic outcomes. To reduce the risk of false alarms, scientists must find more dependable methods of monitoring volcanic activity.
In a new study, researchers from the University of Oxford examined a seismic phenomenon called shear wave splitting as a potential tool for providing early warnings of dangerous eruptions. When magma and the rock move within a volcano, they generate seismic waves, but these signals are often complex and difficult to interpret. The study aimed to identify a reliable parameter that could not only indicate when an eruption is likely to occur, but also predict how severe it might be. Okay, well, that's good.
Shear wave splitting is a phenomenon where seismic shear waves travel at different speeds depending on their polarization. Cracks and fractures inside the rock can slow down seismic waves, but have a larger delaying effect on seismic waves that travel across the cracks and fractures. If the cracks are aligned in one direction, then the amount of shear wave splitting increases.
Magma and fluids moving beneath a volcano exert stresses on the surrounding rocks, causing cracks to open in certain orientations and close in others. Examining changes to shear wave splitting through time can be really useful for scientists, as it tells them where these cracks are opening and closing. But the research team wanted to take this a step further and test whether the large stress changes during an explosive eruption also caused a more significant change to the amount of shear wave splitting.
I'd be willing to bet that the most watched volcano is Kilauea in Hawaii. I mean, there's an observatory right up there.
And it's pretty active, right? I mean, there's been more activity in that. Think about St. Helens. That was pretty spectacular, but nothing's happened since then, right?
That's how nothing happens for decades, and then boom, like Pompeii.
Yeah.
Vesuvius.
Like a fight with your wife, you know?
Exactly. Just builds up and then boom. Yeah. And you're like, what? Where did Hyde come from? Yeah, I want Jekyll back.
You said that, not me.
I hope my wife's not watching. She normally doesn't. Quote, seismic anisotropy, or the effect of rock composition and internal fractures on the speed of shear waves oscillating at right angles to each other. That's a big definition for anisotropy, right? That's a big definition. Is a well-documented phenomenon, said Professor Mike Kendall, Department of Earth Sciences, University of Oxford. Quote, when we reflected on how anisotropy increases as the pressure inside a volcano builds, we were excited to explore if we could detect these changes and if this could be a distinctive signal which could be applied to early warning systems.
The research team put this theory to the test by examining seismic signals during two eruptions of Ontake Volcano on Honshu Island in Japan. The 2007 eruption was small and much less of an impact on the surrounding community, whereas the 2014 eruption was larger, more explosive, and sadly more deadly. That's the one that messed with the Fukushima.
Right? Yeah, that's I think
nuclear plant. Yeah.
So is this the volcano that did it? Caused the tsunami?
I don't remember that far back. But, could have been.
Or
I mean, I can't remember any other.
Fuji's like dormant, right?
Well, it is now.
Yeah.
But
they were excited to discover that during the smaller eruption, the amount of shear wave splitting remained constant throughout. But during the larger eruption, the amount of splitting doubled just before Ontake exploded. The team believes that the larger stress change during the 2014 eruption increased the observed shear wave splitting, indicating a useful relationship between the amount of splitting and the size of the eruption.
So this testing that they're doing obviously has some promise to it, right?
Yeah, well, you got to set up the monitors and stuff, right, so that you can monitor it. But you don't know what's going on. You don't know where the cracks are underneath the ground. That's what's so puzzling about
So you're going to have to set up a lot of them, right?
Yeah.
All around the volcanoes.
Which is not bad.
Yeah, no, why not? Yeah, that's early warning. It's great. Co-author Professor Toshiko Terakawa at the Nagoya University noted, quote, the focal mechanisms of volcano-tectonic earthquakes changed drastically before and after the 2014 eruption. Integrating data from shear wave splitting and earthquake focal mechanisms could provide deeper insights into conditions required for an eruption to occur. Bless you.
Like 4 more.
Bless you.
Okay. Co-author Professor Martha Savage, Victoria University of Wellington, added, quote, the records around 2 eruptions on Ontake Volcano in Japan have been able to show that the method can not only show changes before eruptions, but that they can potentially help to predict the size of an eruption.
Ooh,
this work was an example of how cooperation thank you, among people from around the globe can address important societal problems. Okay.
Somebody's broke into our studio. Your neighbors. Because the change in shear wave splitting occurred before the eruption of Ontake began, scientists monitoring the volcano will be able to use this parameter as both a vital early warning system and an indicator of how damaging the eruption could be. This offers a new way to protect local communities from the devastating impacts of a volcanic eruption. What are you going to do, though? Gather up your stuff and drive? I mean, you don't know where you're going to have.
Well, you got your bug out bags, your 72-hour bag.
Okay, but where do you go? I mean, at least you know
downhill.
The earthquake is there. You're going there, right?
Right.
But earthquake, I mean,
away from the volcano.
I guess, yeah. And hope.
No, if you got a volcano like that mountain out there, if the earthquake, I might start going that way.
Oh, okay.
You know.
Okay.
Quote: we expect to see these effects at other volcanoes across the globe, not just at Ontake Volcano, said co-author Dr. Tom Ketledy, Department of Earth Sciences, University of Oxford. Quote, to continue the quote, as changes in volcanic stress occur prior to an eruption, we anticipate that we would see changes in shear wave splitting. This could be a valuable tool for early warning of volcanic eruptions, especially for local communities. I like that.
So you say
put them around the ring of fire.
Yeah, you say go away. So when we were training when I was training to be a school bus driver, if you were near a railroad track and your bus broke down and you had to evacuate your bus, we were taught to go towards the train.
Oh,
yeah.
So they could pick up the kids
towards the train, so you know where it's coming. You know, it's like walking into traffic, like when you're walking on the street or riding your bike on the street. You go towards the traffic, so you can make a maneuver. So yeah, you would go towards the direction of the train,
but that you think the train is coming.
So you could go
right or left,
right. Yeah.
But no, that makes sense.
Yeah, I didn't think so at first, but now looking back, it does. So anyway, good story. Early warnings stuff is great for
Always
any
good.
situation like this.
Yeah, volcanoes or whatever.
Yeah.
Earthquakes.
Natural disasters. So.
Yeah. Thanks, folks. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.